is our wood so far. There's the 4 4x4s, got some 2x4s, and some 2x6s. So all of them will be stained the same color once we get it built. I'll go through and stain it, but we try to do this as cheap as possible and still get the look that we're going for. We got a total of 10 of these 2x4 brackets. These will go on, I'm gonna try to explain this. These will kind of sit on the side like this, and then the 2x4 will sit in here and it'll space. We'll explain that whenever we do it, but I got 10 of those. We also got 4 of these metal brackets that go into the concrete to make sure that the posts are secure. We got some of this concrete adhesive for the screws that will be going in there. So we also had to get a concrete bit. I can't remember what these are called. What are these called? Concrete bits?
No.
What is that?
They're just different hex bit sizes.
Hex bits. This is the concrete bit right here. Okay. And we got those too. I don't know what those are for. Block washers. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. My name is Carrie, and today's video I'm going to share with you guys how my husband and I built our back patio cover. So me and him have gotten, just more comfortable with building things. We built our kitchen island, we built our fireplace, and we're pretty handy people, but we decided to try and build our own covered patio. If for some reason we get to the point where we can't figure it out, I can just call my dad and my dad can help us fix it and use the wood that we bought. So it's not like anything's going to be wasted or anything like that, but we want to at least attempt to try to build it on our own. So I'm excited to share this with you guys because if my husband and I can do it, I promise you, you can do it too. It just takes a little bit of time. We actually already messed up once, actually twice, 2 times. We had the wrong tool to drill a hole into the concrete, and then we also measured wrong. So that was fun. But we are gonna wing it, we're gonna go with it, and just hopefully it turns out okay. I think once I have my patio furniture under there and I have flowers and stuff, I honestly don't think anyone's gonna be looking at the flaws as much as I would be looking at the flaws, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. It's like a 10 by 10. I'm gonna try my best to walk you guys through our thought process on this thing. We kind of just throw things together. We don't follow a plan, we don't map it out, and that's probably the problem. Because we just kind of go for it and just see what happens. So we have 4x4s, 2x4s, 2x6s, and screws and metal roof, and we are gonna just throw this thing together. We kind of have an idea, like I said, in my head, and I've been looking on Pinterest and on YouTube for ideas, but we're trying to make this as cheap as possible. So far we have spent about $400 total. That's including the roofing, the stain, the screws, everything. So that's the price so far, which is pretty good considering that some pop-up gazebos are even more than that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what we have done so far. Some of the clips you're gonna see are probably clips that you might have already seen in my previous vlog. I kind of just shared a little sneak peek of what we were working on. So I'm gonna go ahead and play those clips, and then we're gonna get on to the rest of the building. Alright, so the very first step was just laying out all of the wood and just figuring out the size and where we wanted it to go. So we planned for it to be a 10 by 10, and right here we are just drilling a hole with a concrete bit, and that is just going to help put the concrete screw in there. So after doing that, we added in some liquid concrete, and at this point we should have removed all of that concrete dust, but we didn't, and that was our very first mistake. So when we went to go add in the screw, it did not go all the way in because the concrete dust just kind of like collected at the bottom. So we ended up having to start completely over and cut that bolt off in order to get it up because it was just in there so good, which is also nice to know that it was in there so well that it was not coming out. But it's still, we had to start over because we needed it to go in another inch. So I ended up borrowing a new drill from my brother, and this is an electric one, so it was a lot more powerful. We only needed it to basically really tighten up the bolts. You could probably get away with just using an impact drill, but we don't have one, so we were just using what we had and what was available to us. So there's a lot of times in our projects where we might not have the proper tools, but sometimes you just have to improvise and make it work regardless, unless you want to spend a ton of money on tools for one project. I mean, that's totally up to you, but we just try to add things in our collection as we go. Eventually we'll have more tools, but right now, like I said, we're either going to borrow them or just make it work. After adding all the 4x4 posts, at this point, everything was going pretty smoothly. We thought we had it under control, and I was honestly surprised at how fast we were moving. And then at this moment, we realized that the measurement was at least an inch off. So I start laughing because that's what I do in situations where I'm like stressed or worried. I like giggle. So I start laughing and I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep going. We'll figure it out tomorrow. If I have to go back and exchange the 2x6s for, like, because we got 10-foot 2x6s, if I had to exchange those for 12-foot and just cut them to fit, then we would. So our cover is a little over a 10x10, like barely, but it happens. We're not perfect. We're not the best at doing this kind of stuff, and we just try to just do what we can with what we have and always make it work. Okay, so I'm at Lowe's right now. I'm looking at the metal roofing, like the sheets, and we need 12 foot because our cover is like a little over 10 foot by 10 foot. And these are like the cheapest ones, the $22.98 ones. So that's what we're gonna go with. I got 3 of them in my cart so far. I gotta get 2 or 3 more. We need a total of 6 for ours. All right, y'all. So I got the metal for the roof. I also got the wood screws for the 2x6, so 2x6 that will go along the top. So I got 2 packs of those, and then I got these self-drilling roofing screws for the metal. So whenever you screw it in, they don't leak. So I got that. We're gonna go ahead and start finishing up the frame, and then we'll probably put the roof on later this evening. It'll be way too hot to try to do that now. But that's just a quick little update on the roof so far. So now moving on to the best part of the project. This is where everything started coming together. We were attaching the 2x6 to the 4x4s, and we used 3-inch screws. And all we did was I held up one side and Dylan screwed in the other while I held it up until he could come over to my side and screw that in. So this part definitely takes 2 people to do. So now moving on to the 2x4 brackets, we are just measuring out how far apart these need to be. And I did spray paint these black just to make it look a lot nicer because I was staining the wood a darker color so that way it would all match. I ended up having to go with a darker wood stain because the 4x4s are like this really like green colored pressure treated wood, and I didn't feel like anything lighter would show up, so I definitely wanted everything to match. That's why I chose a darker stain, which you guys will see that in a minute. But after installing these, we started to measure out the 2x4s, and they all needed to be cut to 10 foot. They were originally 10-foot boards, but they're like 3/4 of an inch off, and they would not fit, so we had to cut that much off. And then once you see the 2x4s up on this little frame, everything looks so good. I am so proud of us for building this. I think it looks pretty darn good considering we don't build things like this. Like, my husband's an electrician and I'm a stay-at-home mom, so we have no experience in building things. We just kind of learn as we go and do our research and just try our best. So now moving on to the stain. I am using Valspar stain and sealer mix. I just wanted to give you guys like an up close so you could see the wood tones. I feel like from a distance it comes off a lot darker on camera than it is in person, but this is the semi-transparent stain and sealer in one. It is great. It's very thick. It's like paint. So usually when I think of stain, I think of very runny and messy and very, very strong smelling, but this was thick like paint and also wasn't extremely strong, so it was something I could do without getting a headache, and I appreciate that very, very much. So I'm going to go run through, stain everything, but I wanted to just kind of chat with you guys about this project. So first thing is, the very end result is not going to be the complete end result, because we do have to put the elbow brackets kind of right where I'm standing. There will be an angled board going up, and that is going to help brace this a lot better. I highly recommend doing that. It is what will hold it together really well. Originally, starting out, we had no idea, and later learned that that's something that's very important. So even though I didn't share it in this video, it is something that I am actually plan on doing tomorrow. So if y'all want to come follow me on Instagram, it's Budgetfam2. That way you guys can see the complete finished look over there. I will probably post a picture on either my Insta story or on my feed.
Mom, I want to dinner. I want to dinner.
See, I hear you.
I'm fun.
I know.
I'm fun paint.
You're concentrating. Alright y'all, so this is the new patio cover so far. There's still a little bit we have to do to it as far as like the framing goes. We have to put the little braces right here. My dad's actually going to stop by and help me do that today. Which is something that Dylan could have helped me do, but we just ran out of time. He had to go back to work. So my dad, like I said, is going to stop by and help me do that. But I picked up these two ferns from Walmart. They were on clearance. I left the tags on them so I wouldn't forget, but they were $7.25 a piece. So I grabbed those just for some greenery out here. This table and chairs I've had for a while. My mom actually gave me that, and then the plant was inside. I just decided to use it out here. Same thing for this plant. I've had that. But yeah, this is it. It looks so good. These two curtains, by the way, are actually indoor curtains. That I don't plan on leaving them out here like during storms or anything. I just kind of have them like tucked up in there. Okay. But I plan on getting some outdoor curtains. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what the plan is. So that's why I decided to hang them up. And then when the sun goes down on that side, you'll be able to have shade still with the curtains open. So that's the plan. But as far as like structurally, we have the 2x6s here, 4x4s, and then the 2x4s are in the center with the brackets, which I did paint those black with just regular black spray paint I had. And I'm going to use the same can of spray paint to repaint these chairs as well because they are in bad shape. They need a fresh coat of paint. But that's it. That's our little covered patio. It looks so good and it works so great. I bought this little fan from Walmart just to get like a nice breeze all the time, and I'm just so happy with it and the fact that we were able to build this on our own. Like, it's really cool. We're getting better and better, and you know, we can always add to it if we wanted to in the future, change it up. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, y'all.